Hi, and welcome back here to episode 32. We're going to be back on the Performance Bagger. What we're doing here, I got my tire machine set up. I used to do a lot of tires back in the Dyna days and Sport Bike days. I haven't done one in quite a while, but we're going to do one. So obviously this is our Performance Bagger. We've got the rear end set up here with our cutoff bags, our cutoff fender, got our own suspension, got our license plate light on, we got our rack put on, our tour pack, we got our lights done. Well, now we're kind of getting organized here for the front. So this is the OEM wheel that's on it and fender. What I'm going to be putting on is an Enforcer wheel, which I have here, shipped from a friend of mine that he put, so this is an OEM takeoff with rotors and ABS bearings in it. It's a 19-inch, and then I've got a 19-inch brand new tire here, Dunlop Elite. That's what I'm, or excuse me, Dunlop American Elite, but 19-inch. So that's what I'm going to be putting on. One thing that I'm just going to talk about here briefly, is with tires and installing them yourself, there's a directional arrow, meaning that this tire is meant to go forward. So this here, that arrow, so that means this tire would be going on like this. So there should be another, there's the other arrow on the other side. So directional going forward rotation. So we want to look for those markings. Every tire has one for a motorcycle. So directional, and that means that the tread that's on it will nicely brake, whether it's water for hydroplaning or just for proper wear. Also on the tire, we want to look for a dot or multiple dots. And what that is going to be the marking of where you're going to put the tire towards the valve stem. So you can see here's the dot here. So that means this dot I'm going to place where the valve stem is. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to balance it up as well. I got a balancer, but today is just focusing installing this tire with the proper directional marking, which is here. So that's got to be in the right way, especially in the front. It doesn't matter as much because we have rotors on both sides. But if it was a single-sided rotor and I put my directional the wrong way, and then when I went to put the directional tire mounted on the rim the wrong way, my rotor would be on the opposite sides of the caliper. Or if it was a rear wheel, one side's for either a chain or a belt, and the other side's got the sprocket. So if I went to just turn the rim around, it wouldn't work. And then we got to identify our marking, our dot, to go where our valve stem is. So that being said, I'm going to get set up here, and then we will get to it. So this tire machine is just a Venom tire machine. You can order them yourself. There's multiple other companies that are out there that make them, so it doesn't have to be a Venom, but you can get them anywhere. So just pulled my wheel out. So there's my wheel. So I'm just going to slide the stud of the tire machine through it. So there's little plastic marks to protect my wheel. I'm going to run my washer and wing nut down on my stud here so the tire doesn't fly off. This machine will also do bead braking. Obviously I don't have to do that because my rim doesn't have a tire on it. So I'm just going to locate my valve stem is right there. I'll kind of turn it a different way just because the camera's on that spot. So I will reevaluate it this way. So now the valve stem is right on me. Tighten it down. So the valve stem's on me. Here's our tire. I'm going to strip off the saran wrap that they had been in delivery. So this is a mixture of Windex, soap, and water, and that's what I'm going to spray the tire down with. So again, I've got to find my marking for my directional. So that's directional, and now I need to find my yellow dot. So my yellow dot is right here, and I want it to be where the valve stem is. So now I'm going to spray it all down with the soap and Windex. If it was a warmer day, I'd have the tires sitting outside in the sun to help it get a little bit softer. The rubber was just a little bit harder in the winter, so I actually had the tire inside, and that will help a bit, but obviously it's not as soft as it would be if it was a nicer, warmer day and I was able to have it outside. Again, I haven't done a tire in a while. Used to do them periodically. We used to do burnouts and so on and so forth with Dynas and our sport bikes. So I'm just going to start pushing it down and over. I've got some tire spoons here, and I've got some tire spoons, and I've got some protectors to put on it. I never used to run these, or use these I should say, but since I'm doing a little bit nicer wheel on my sport bike, I never cared as much, but I'm going to actually cut these ropes off. I don't think I need them. Just cutting these ropes off. These are, if it falls within the tire, you can pull it back out. I'm just cutting them. So I'm going to slide these over the rim to protect the rim. Again, like I say, this is going to be a performance bagger. Stuff will probably happen, but if I can, right now start with a few precautions, I would like to do so. Like I said, everybody else may do things a little bit differently, and they may, I got this for a pretty good deal from a friend of mine, and that included the rotors. So, like I say, it was what they call a new takeoff. So at purchase, he upgraded right away to a 21, where, this project, it didn't matter to me what I had. I would have left the OEM one on there if I needed to. So this is just going to protect us when I use the tire bar. So now I'm going to grab that tire bar, which I put right here. Tire bars I just bought, I believe, from Fort 9. It was a full kit. But you can buy them anywhere. Princess Auto sells them. So there it goes. I just dropped it down. The first set is seated, or on my rim. So again, I want the yellow dot where my valve stem is. So I'm just going to push down again. I'm going to put a little bit more soap. Kind of dissipates or bleeds off, which is fine. Like I said, I used to take this tire machine, the little sport bike things we used to do, and we'd change them right there in the back of a truck or on the ground. It was fun at the time. We'd help out other guys that got flats, and like I say, a lot of times it was just doing burnouts, and you know, as we would call it, us being a little bit silly, but having fun at the same time. No harm, no foul, so no one was getting hurt. I'm gonna have to use one of the spoons where I don't have any, didn't put one of these protectors. I've got her lubed up pretty good. It's kind of jumping off on me. Like I say, it would be nice to have two hands where someone could lean on one side for you, but it doesn't happen that way, and that's okay. Just do what you can do, because this side wants to lift off, and that's okay. We just go back and we walk it around a little bit at a time. So as you see it lifted up again, can be a battle, can be a battle. I like to tell people if it was easy, no one would go to a tire shop. I have more than one tire spoon, so I will put in another one. The stand that I have my tire balancer on right now, or my tire machine on right now, is on a mobile piece of wood, because I sometimes opt to use the stand for something else. So if it was securely mounted, it also would go a little better. Going to put a little bit more spray here. And like I say, if it was easy, everyone would do it. So, which you can see it is not. And with this tire being a little bit cold, it it's the downfall of not having a heated shop all the time, or having some other people to help you. I'm gonna pull this ringlet off there, come over here. Keep that one there. I have seen guys, they'll put a spoon in and then they just grab a hammer to beat it around. Well, I don't want to do that either. I don't want to scratch the rim. I don't want to overly stretch the tread of the tire either. That's not what you want to do either. Well, I got a little scratch there, but if you try to do too much at a time, it kicks back at you, which happens. My 26-inch reel, I'll tell you, that one's a tough one to do. Put the tie wraps around it. Got the heater going, I'm sweating. It's a game of patience is what it is. Nothing wrong with being patient, just sometimes having a second person helps. On my 26, I've actually used a Speedy, a cutoff wheel, to remove the tire because I didn't want to damage my rim. You can see now I'm getting it, but I'm going for about an inch at a time. But because all the soap I put on it, it's kicking me off a fair bit. Take a break, see if I can get someone out here to help me there. So I say, real life, this is how it goes. Well, we're back here. Got a little carried away and forgot to turn the camera back on. I had one eye help me there. And so we got the tire on. The rim, I just lubed it up. I just put air in it. I ran it up to about 60 psi with the Schrader valve, the core of the Schrader valve, out to help seat the tire. Then I put the core back in, and then I pumped it up to 50 psi, and then I let the air out of it, and then I ran it up to 41 psi cold, and that's where it's at now. So I got one nick right there that's fairly bad. I'm not impressed about that, but I'm going to do a little bit of polish on it and I'll see if I can bring it out. But besides that, it's mounted. So the next video I will do balancing it, and then I will be removing the front fender and this tire and rim off, and then I'll be mounting this one right on the bike. So, and then don't forget I've got the slimline fender here, that's steel as well, that'll be going on. So we're getting there. So till next time, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, I got one eye to help me with the tire, and then sometimes you just get working and you forget to turn the camera back on, and that does happen. But yeah, until next time, thanks a lot. Bye.